on what difficulty gives you. I want to tell you something that took me far too long to learn, and I offer it to you now with the hope that it reaches you sooner than it reached me. The difficulty you are facing is not a wall. It is a door. And you, I suspect, are already turning the handle, even if your hand is trembling. You have written to me about your troubles, and I hear in your words the belief that something has gone wrong, that this struggle was not part of the arrangement. But consider, when has anything worth having come to you without effort? The bread that fills your home with warmth each morning required kneading, and before that, grinding, and before that, a seed enduring long months of darkness in the earth. You eat the bread and call it good. You might extend the same courtesy to the process that made it. The seed did not know it would become flour. It only knew the dark, and it stayed anyway. There is a courage in that which I find deeply moving. We are such strange creatures. We pray for strength and then resent the very circumstances that would build it. We ask for wisdom and then curse the confusion that precedes understanding. It is as if you planted a garden and then stood in the rain, furious at the weather, forgetting entirely that this is how things grow. I do not say this to mock you. I say it because I have been that person, standing soaked and indignant, shaking my fist at the clouds while my roots drank deeply. When I finally noticed what was happening beneath the surface, I could only laugh at myself. I recommend the practice. Laughing at yourself is one of the more underrated forms of wisdom. There is a particular kind of richness that only difficulty can give you. Ease makes you comfortable. It does not make you deep. Think of the people whose company you treasure most in this world. Are they the ones who have never suffered? Or are they the ones who have suffered and emerged with their tenderness still intact? There is a warmth in a person who has been tested and did not become bitter. You can feel it the moment they enter a room. They carry something that cannot be borrowed or bought or inherited. It can only be earned, and the currency is your own willingness to endure with grace. You are earning it now, whether you realize it or not. The fact that you are still asking how to live well, rather than giving up on the question, tells me more about your character than you know. I am not suggesting you go seeking hardship. Life will provide it generously enough without your assistance. What I am suggesting is that you stop treating difficulty as evidence that you have failed or that the world has turned against you. The river does not resent the stones in its path. It flows around them, over them, and in doing so, it sings. Have you ever truly noticed that? Still water is silent. It is the water that meets resistance that makes music. Something in you already understands this, even if your worried mind has not yet caught up. There is also, if you will forgive me for saying so, a kind of vanity in believing your suffering is unique. I do not mean this unkindly, but you sometimes speak of your burdens as though they were chosen for you by some malicious hand, as though the universe singled you out for particular inconvenience. My friend, it did not. You are facing what every person has faced since the first of us drew breath. The fundamental challenge of being alive in a world that does not bend to our preferences. And here is what delights me about this truth. You are not alone in it. Every person you pass on the road is carrying something. The merchant closing up his shop, the child tugging at her mother's sleeve, the old man sitting quietly on a bench with his eyes closed and his face turned toward the sun. When you remember this, something remarkable happens. Your suffering stops isolating you and begins connecting you to every other heart that has ever beaten. What felt like exile becomes belonging. Now let me speak about fear, because I suspect it is fear, more than difficulty itself, that robs you of sleep. The obstacle before you is one thing. Your imagination of what that obstacle might become is quite another. You have been lying awake, I think, constructing cathedrals of catastrophe in the dark hours. You are remarkably talented at this. We all are. The human mind, when left unsupervised at 3 in the morning, will engineer disasters of truly breathtaking architecture. But notice, the morning comes regardless. The light slips through the window, the birds begin their unreasonable optimism, and most of what you feared in the darkness simply does not arrive. It never does. Fear is a talented artist, but a poor prophet. I want you to consider something. Every skill you possess, every capacity you are proud of, every quiet strength that others admire in you, was born in a moment when you did not know if you could manage. You did not learn to walk on flat, soft ground. You learned by falling, repeatedly, in the presence of witnesses, and getting up each time with the peculiar stubbornness of someone who simply refused to spend the rest of their life crawling. That stubbornness is still in you. It did not leave when you grew tall. It is merely waiting for you to remember it. There is also a joy in difficulty that we rarely discuss, perhaps because it seems improper to admit. But you know the feeling. You have tasted it. The deep, bone-level satisfaction of having done something hard, of having walked into a room you were afraid to enter, spoken words you were afraid to speak, and come through the other side, tired and changed, and quietly proud. This satisfaction is not the same as pleasure. It is better. Pleasure fades the moment it is consumed, like honey dissolving on the tongue. But the knowledge that you met something difficult and did not run from it becomes part of who you are. It is woven into the fabric of your character, and no one can take it from you. Not time, not misfortune, not the opinions of those who watched from a safe distance. So here is what I ask of you. Do not wish your difficulty away. Do not spend your precious energy longing for a life without friction. Instead, bring yourself to the question that actually matters. What is this making of me? Because it is making something of you, whether you cooperate with the process or not. You may as well cooperate. You may as well bring your full attention to the task before you, the way a sculptor brings attention to stone. The sculptor does not resent the resistance of the marble. The resistance is precisely what makes the art possible. Without it, there is only dust. And when the day comes, as it will, when you look back on this season of your life, I believe you will be surprised by what you feel. Not relief, exactly. Something warmer than that. Something closer to gratitude. You will see that the person standing on the far side of this difficulty is someone you genuinely admire. Someone kinder, steadier, more awake to the beauty of simple things. And you will understand, perhaps for the first time, that the path was not cruel. It was generous. It gave you exactly what you needed, wrapped in paper you would not have chosen. The sun is setting as I write this, and the sky has turned the precise color of ripe apricots. I am watching it and thinking of you. I am thinking that you are braver than you believe, and that the difficulty you face today is smaller than the person facing it. Go gently with yourself, but go. The stone is waiting for the river, and the river has never once failed to arrive.